Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what today is? It's Monday Morning Chats with Sack, and Sack is me. I hope that you guys had a phenomenal weekend. Honestly, I wish we can go back to the weekend because my weekend was pretty lit. It was fun. It was just a lot of fun. Ladies' nights are always bomb. And I got a chance to go to a winery. Well, not a winery, but a vineyard in Northern Virginia. And it was by far amazing. I think it's considered Northern Virginia. I need to look on the map to see if it's classified as Northern Virginia. But anywho, the weekend was amazing. And for me, um, all I need is a small crowd and nothing but good food, of course, wine, and just laughter. I like to laugh. I like to bust jokes. That's just who I am. So I did all of that plus more. And so for today, I want to talk about a few little things, and hopefully this will encourage you to like do some stuff, maybe by yourself. And so for the first part, I thought about what was the first time I actually like went out by myself, like went out to dinner or went out to a movie. Like I was thinking about those things because a lot of times, some people feel like if they want to go out to dinner, if they want to go to a movie, they have to go with someone. And maybe it's the norm for you to go with someone, but have you ever did it by yourself? So the first time I ever like went out to dinner by myself, I was in college. Maybe this count, maybe this doesn't, but trust me, I got story for days. The first time I actually went out by myself, I was at Bloomsbury University, and my schedule was different than my friends. And so most of my friends as freshmen, we try to plan accordingly so that way we can all go to the cafeteria together once we're done. Me being the person I am, sometime I was able to make it, sometime I didn't. And sometime I would like go to one lounge to get food and maybe bring it back to my room. And I just thought about it, hey, would it really hurt if I like eat by myself? And it felt kind of weird, and I was like, I don't want people to think I'm a weirdo, but I need to eat something. So I never forget, I was a freshman and went to the cafeteria. This is like the big cafeteria where they have everything. And our school, my college had like great food. Like it wasn't like the nasty food stories I hear from other people that went to different colleges. Like no, Bloomsbury University, we had great food. We had great food. And so I remember, going to the cafeteria. And if you know me all through school, from I want to say from middle school going all the way up to grad school, I never had the regular book bag. I had the roly poly book bag. When I was in eighth grade, I used my brother's. I used their actual. They had like a overnight bag, but I realized that their overnight bag would be a good book bag for me, and it was the Rock. So just imagine being an eighth grader rolling the Rock book bag around in school. And I went to Lamberton and you stripper bag now. So just imagine being in school. You're a teenager, and you have like the Rock book bag, and you're just traveling around in school. That's what I did. And then for college, I had a big book bag. My friends thought I was crazy. They teased me. They was like, "You're just such a geek and whatever." Anywho, I rolled my book bag into the cafeteria, and I just tried to figure out, okay, where am I going to sit at, when I'm going to actually going to eat. I can have hot food. I can have like a sandwich. I can make a sandwich. I can have like whatever's on the grill. Just thought about all those things. And so me and my book bag was rolling around. Got a chance to get the food that I wanted, and I sat there. And during the time I sit down by myself, like I always have like my journal, and I will write different things in there, like, check my planner. Like I was a nerd in college. Like I was a nerd. I stayed out of trouble. I didn't bother nobody. Nobody didn't bother me. And it was great. So I would write in my journal, and then I would look at my planner like, okay, what time I have class? When do I need to study? And it was good. Moving forward as an adult, I was like, okay, especially during I want to say when I was studying for the bar, and it was times where I just needed a mental break. And so I would go to Fridays by myself, sit down, eat dinner, and it got to the point where I was just like, this is really not bad. But it got a little weird when people were like, "Oh, are you waiting for somebody?" And I would make up a lie like, "Yeah, one of my friends should be here soon." And then like a whole hour passed and I'm just there. Then I went to the movies by myself. And the movies wasn't a bad idea because it was dark. I had my popcorn. Yes, popcorn is always needed when you go to the movie theater. It was needed. And then, for me, if I like tell my friends like, "Hey, meet me here. Let's go get appetizers, happy hour." They don't go. Guess what? I am still going. So what's the point of me saying these times where I went somewhere by myself? Whether it's going to the movies, whether it's going out to dinner, even to the mall. I go to the mall by myself. And what's the purpose of that? I think that a lot of times, sometimes, some people wait on others to do things with them. And I think you have to be comfortable within yourself. And you just have to be comfortable saying that, hey, if this person doesn't do this with me, I can still do this by myself. I see that a lot, in college. Like, I would see my friends where they had this idea or this thought like, hey, I need to be with someone to do things. Like, I can't do this by myself. And when I was in college, I grew from my friends. If one person didn't eat, none of them didn't eat. And me, listen, I like to work out and I like a really good meal, especially a healthy meal. So if I say, hey, I'm going to eat at this time and you're not coming, guess what? I am still going to get something to eat. And so the point of it is that you shouldn't have to wait for somebody to do certain things with you. Like, be comfortable knowing that you can still do it by yourself and you can still have a good time by yourself. So I challenge you to maybe go to the movies by yourself. Maybe go out to dinner. Now, if you're the person where you're going to go out to dinner and you're going to like talk to yourself, maybe you should see a little therapist, because I don't talk to myself. I just write things in my notebook, and maybe sometime I may talk on the phone with a friend or a family member. But it's a really good experience. Now, I wouldn't mind. I haven't done that. You know what? I did. One of my favorite places is Rai Sushi. So sometime in Baltimore, sometime like when I would get off of work, I would just go there, and it was amazing. Now, I'm not going to go to the bar and get like drunk. No, I'm definitely not going to do that by myself. But yeah, I would challenge you to do that. And you can see like if you enjoy being by yourself, and then I think that you will realize, okay, I can enjoy this, and then it can make you want to do this with someone else, whoever that may be. So the second thing I want to talk about is, like, do you celebrate yourself? I'm really big on celebrating small accomplishments, big accomplishments, or even in between. A lot of times, we in society, it's like we can't celebrate ourselves. We can't be happy for ourselves. And I'm here to tell you that you should be happy. If you're at your job, or maybe you have a business, whether it's a big business or a small business. Let's say that, hey, you had your small business and you had your business for several years. And then now you're able to hire maybe an employee or an independent contractor. That's a big deal. Like, do you know how hard it is to save money to pay somebody else? That is hard. But if you're able to do that, celebrate that. If you have rental properties and you realize like, hey, this rental property is doing amazing, like, celebrate that. If you're at a new job and you realize that, hey, I can't tackle this, but then you do. Like, you're able to understand exactly what you're doing and you're able to master the task that was given to you. Celebrate that. Like, that's a big deal. Like, pat yourself on the back. True story. I never forget, I used to live in Prince George's County before moving to Baltimore City. And I love crabs. I think a lot of Black women love crabs. I love crabs. And I never forget, I was at my old firm in Virginia, and we did international tax. And I remember it was something that was really complex. I really didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, I really didn't know. I was like, I don't get it. But I worked for a very long time, like several hours. I was there at the job for like 15 hours a day. and I figured it out. I was just like so freaking happy, like so happy. So you know what I did the weekend? I went out and got some crabs. I told one of my girlfriends, like, hey, at this time, I'm leaving my house. I'm going to the wharf. I'm going to pick up some crabs. Meet me at my house by this time because I want to get to the wharf at this particular time. And she was like, okay. Now, the one thing about me, I am very punctual. If I tell you that unless something happened or maybe let's say that my makeup didn't turn out too good, I'm going to say, hey, give me like 10 more minutes. I'm going to be out. But other than that, I'm very punctual. And so I told my girlfriend, like, hey, I'm leaving out at this time. If you want to come with me, you go ride with me, park your car in my apartment complex, and then we're out. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Hey, you're thinking about it. I already made up my mind. I made up my mind that I want some crabs, size medium, and if they have a sale on large, guess what? I am getting the large crabs. And so I waited. The time that I said I was leaving out, I had it out. Me, I don't like giving so many reminders. If I tell you once, that's exactly what I mean. Not changing, not flipping the script. And then like 2 hours later, she was like, oh, did you, I thought about crabs. Did you go get some? Girl, yes, I'm on my crab leg. Yes, and I'm melting my butter. Yes, I got my crabs. So I celebrated because that was a big deal for me. Let's say that maybe you purchased a house. Celebrate that. That is a big deal. Maybe you were the person where during the pandemic you did not know how to do your hair. Like the hairdresser was your go-to person. Like you didn't know how to do anything. But if you learn how to do a wash and curl and it actually doesn't look that bad, like celebrate that. If you learn how to cut hair and your shape up is popping, celebrate that. A lot of times people wait for others to celebrate them and you shouldn't have to. If it's something that's important to you, celebrate that. Why do you have to wait for a group of friends? My friends know me. Like if I say, look, this happened and I'm proud, you know what? I'm going to celebrate me. And if you want to join the celebration, that's fine. But I never wait for someone else to celebrate me. I'm going to always celebrate myself first. Always. Whether I'm telling the best friend, whether I'm telling a friend, a family member, celebrate yourself. Because if you don't, you have these high expectations on people where they have to be there because it's your celebration. If it means something to you, do something because it means something to you. And even though you may want to celebrate with other people, that's good. That's absolutely fine. But maybe it's not as important to them as it is to you. So if you're looking for celebrations from other people where they don't see your celebration as a big deal, you're going to always feel hurt. And so I challenge you to celebrate yourself. If you got that new job, like, go get a drink. And maybe if the bars are not open, listen, go to the liquor store, go to Pinterest, and figure out how to make your favorite drink. Trust me, it's not hard. I can even show you. If you learn how to do something new in your car, and maybe you were able to change your brakes, celebrate that. Now, celebration doesn't mean, you need to have a big party, you need to do anything. Do something that's fun for you. Maybe that's like, hey, I just want to block out 3 hours out the day and maybe do something fun for me. Maybe it's working out. Maybe it's doing yoga. Maybe it's just like getting some sleep. Maybe it's getting a massage. Do something that's fun for you. The last thing, one more thing. Don't forget to celebrate birthdays. Birthdays are important. On my vision board that I created 2018, I talked about the importance of making your birthday a big deal. I don't care if you turn 15. I don't care if you turn 35. I don't care if you turn 62. I don't care if you turn 23. Make your birthday a big deal. And a big deal doesn't mean that, hey, you have to go out of the country. You can have fun within your home. You can have fun at someone else's home. You can have fun at a bar. You can have fun at a restaurant. Like, make sure that you celebrate your birthday. And be happy with the people that came. A lot of times, I realize that as I get older, when I have different events, my actual invite list, it becomes shorter. And it doesn't mean that I don't love people as much, but I pay attention to the people that always show up. And so if I invite you to 3 things, I have a 3 strike rule. So if I invite you to things 3 times and you just don't show up, you don't call me, you don't let me know, you're off the invitation list. And my parties are pretty lit. Like, they're pretty lit. But that's okay. Like, I don't get mad. At the end of the day, I've learned not to take nothing personal. So birthdays are a big deal. I like to celebrate birthdays. I know last year for my birthday, I went to a wine bar the day of my birthday. It was so much fun. And I invited, some friends. And it was some friends that traveled a great distance to be there. And I appreciated that. And then the day after, I went to Vegas for the week. And it was amazing. It was so much fun. So celebrate your birthday. Like, celebrate that. My friends, I celebrate them. I just went to a vineyard yesterday to celebrate my girlfriend's birthday. I'm like, look, I'm going to be there. But even though I showed up, every event that I have, she shows up. We are present in each other's lives. That is important. Celebrate my girlfriend Saturday. That's important to me. And she shows up. And I think about everybody else's birthday that I showed up for. And they showed up for me. So make sure, like, you celebrate your birthday. Like, that's a special holiday. You only get one birthday every year. And you're blessed to see another birthday. Some people don't. And lastly, that I'm going to say is never stop trying at whatever it is that you're trying to do. Like, never stop trying. If it's a job that you want, even though we're in a pandemic, God can still make things happen. If you're trying to purchase a house, like, God can still make things happen. If you're trying to start that business, God can still make things happen. If you're trying to work on yourself, God can still make things happen. Maybe you are, maybe you're going through a divorce. You can still find love. But never stop trying. I tell myself this all the time, Sometimes, it's easy to give up on things. And I think about, if I give up, I never get a chance to see the end result unless I'm trying. But I think no matter how long or how much it takes to try, at one point you will get tired, but only you know when you get tired. So if you're saying, like, hey, I've been trying to find this job for like 15 years, only you know when it's time to stop. But when you stop, know that and feel that you gave it your all. So I hope that this message was helpful for you guys. One, don't forget to appreciate the small things. Don't forget to celebrate yourself. Do things by yourself. And 2, never stop trying. Never stop trying. A lot of times people just give up so easily because giving up is, honestly, it's very easy. But never stop trying. And as much as I encourage you, I encourage myself. And I make sure that my glass is filled before I'm able to pour into others. So my glass is filled, and I'm going to have to keep filling it day by day because I'm human. But as I encourage you, I encourage myself. I encourage myself to be the best version of me. Some days I have good days. Some days I'm sad. No matter how much I smile, I still hurt at things. I'm human, and I'm not afraid to say that. And I hope that you're not afraid to say that either. Yesterday, I was with a group of friends, and they were going around, it was men and women, and they were going around asking people, if you had to rate yourself from 1 to 10, what would you give yourself? 7 had to be the least. So pretty much you couldn't rate yourself as a 5. You couldn't rate yourself as a 6. So pretty much between 7 to 10. What would you say? And I said I would rate myself as a 10. And they was like, ooh, yes, girl, yes, king. Yes, queen. And I was like, well, it's not saying that I'm conceited. It's not saying that I'm perfect. But I love the person I am. I love the fact that I'm not afraid to be vulnerable to the right people. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. And they were like, well, is there anything that you would change about yourself? I said, well, of course, I like to stay in shape. So, if I had a chance to, have my body fully snatched to the gods, yes. But without work, I'm not into getting plastic surgery. So that's what I said. I said being a 10 doesn't mean that I have it all together. I'm not perfect. But I thrive to be the best version of myself. And because I'm making progress, little progress is better than no progress. So I'm going to give myself a 10. And no person in this world can change that. If I want to have short hair, well, I already have short hair. This is a weave. If I want longer hair, I'll just get a longer weave. If I want my hair bald, I have friends that have clippers. Shave my head off. But whatever I do, I'm happy with myself. And I always improve with myself. I always try to figure out what can I do to be better. If I made a mistake, what did I learn from it? So I hope that you're not afraid to. I hope that you're not afraid to admit when you're wrong. I hope that you're not afraid to say, hey, I'm a work in progress. Yeah, do I get mad at times? Yeah. Do I clap back? Absolutely. But I just made a decision to be better. And I hope you did too. Again, I hope that this work encouraged you. I hope that it inspired you. But most importantly, I hope that you never forget how amazing you are. Looking at the news can be so freaking stressful. But don't let that deter you from being the best version of yourself, and never looking at yourself then less than amazing, because you are amazing. You are great. You're going to do great things. I hope that your Monday is amazing. I hope that your Tuesday is phenomenal. I hope that your Wednesday is spectacular. I hope that your Thursday is just amazing and spectacular by all means. I hope that your Friday is purposeful. I hope that your weekends are pretty lit. And most importantly, whatever day it is, never give up on yourself. Take care, guys, and have a happy Monday.